Security guards arrested or ejected more than 100 people at today's game. The Dallas Cowboys, on their way to the locker room, couldn't hang their heads if they wanted to. They were too busy looking skyward.
Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. So today is the day. Today is the day. I think the last time I made a video in the gym before a big game, I think it was the playoffs. It was the playoffs before we played the Bears. The last time before a big game, I made a video down here in this gym. Now, this game is going to be crazy. I'm not even going to lie to you. This game is going to be crazy, man. It's a few things. Now, this is the final time we're going to talk about what needs to happen. Obviously, the game is today. The loser of this game will be in disarray. I believe if the Dallas Cowboys lose this game, they will have the worst end of the stick than the Philadelphia Eagles because nobody's giving us a chance to win this game. Now, all of a sudden, everybody want to take into consideration our injuries. Now, all of a sudden, everybody want to take into consideration that Carson Wentz is an elite quarterback and how good he's playing. But the Philadelphia Eagles got a chance to win this game. I think you're going to see the best Philadelphia Eagles squad you saw all year. You know what I mean? That win that we took to the loss that we took to the Dallas Cowboys the first time, what was it, 37-10? That left a sour taste in our mouth. It's to the point right now to where, we got to beat this team, man. We'll shut up the Dallas Cowboys fans. We'll shut up the all that stuff Orlando Scandrick did in the beginning of the season will be null and void. You see what I'm saying? It's more people that want us to lose this game who are not even Dallas Cowboys fans, like Giants fans. I don't understand the concept behind that. I really don't. Just enjoy the game. We understand your team don't got nothing to play for. I understand, Giants. You should be wanting us to win, Giants. I'll tell you why. Because after we beat the Dallas Cowboys, we still got to beat you guys to win the division. You should wanted to roll through you guys, right? Because y'all had a good first half, right? Giants fans, get out of here, man. And then Giants fans want us to remember the score. 37-10. Y'all didn't do that to us. I'm confused. You see, it's one thing about being a fan, then it's another thing about, just having good memories out the season that really ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? The Giants turned most of the Giants content creators into commentators. Y'all can't talk about y'all team right now. Y'all can't do it because nobody don't want to hear that shit. Sorry to say. But at the end of the day, man, one important thing that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to have to do is this, man. The first half is going to be the first half of this game. The Philadelphia Eagles have to adjust. Whatever they saw in the first half, they got to come out and adjust to it. Whoever makes the best adjustments is going to win this game because Doug Peterson can be stubborn sometimes. Jim Schwartz can be stubborn sometimes. They don't like to make adjustments. Jason Garrett doesn't like to make adjustments either. Whoever makes the adjustments, whoever puts on their grown-up pants first will win this game. And I got my money on Doug Peterson to be able to make the proper adjustments first. Dak Prescott injured, that. He might be nicked up. I don't think he 100%. I don't think the reports are total lies about that. Yeah, I'm going to say he nicked up. But his arm ain't about to fall off. He's going to play in this game. He's going to play in this game. I would have liked to see Nelson Aguilar back personally, even though everybody got an I hate Nelson Aguilar flag up right now. I would have liked to see him play in this game. He probably can't catch everything, but he sure can get open. And that puts pressure on the defense. You ain't got to go to him. He can get open. What I saw out of J.J. Arcega-Whiteside last week against the Redskins was that he can't get open. And he runs the wrong route sometimes. You know what I mean? It's a lot of pressure on the tight ends in this game. A lot of pressure on the run game. We know we without Lane Johnson. Actually, being without Lane Johnson, I'm not that upset about that. Yeah, Lane Johnson is an all-pro, but Lane Johnson was way too friendly with the Dallas Cowboys the first time after they smacked us around. I like the things that I'm seeing out of Big V. I like what I'm seeing out of Big V. And speaking of Big V, boy, we gotta, you have to give respect where respect is due, especially to Howie Roseman. Everybody wanted us to trade Big V to the Browns, get some leverage, get some extra pieces. Where would we be right now if we didn't have Big V on the roster with Lane Johnson not playing the last 2 weeks in critical situations? You see what I'm saying? Big V was there to hold it down like he's always been. So I commend Howie Roseman for keeping Big V around. Sometimes the GMs know best. Is this the biggest game of Dak Prescott's career? No. I don't know why everybody keeps saying that. Dak Prescott actually played in a playoff game. Dak Prescott actually won a playoff game. You know, every playoff game will trump every regular season game. I'm sorry. This is the most meaningful game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles in the Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott era, though. You know, I don't understand that. You know, you got Dallas Cowboys content creators saying this is the biggest game of Dak Prescott's career. No, it's not. No, it's not. And that just proves that you guys are just cool with mediocrity. You cool with mediocrity. How is this the biggest game of somebody's career who played in the postseason before? This could be looked at as the biggest game of Carson Wentz's career because he hasn't played in the postseason. Since when does a regular season matchup outweigh a postseason matchup? You win or you go home. You know what I'm saying? In the postseason, you're playing for something in the postseason to the next round. The loss to the Rams was the biggest game of Dak Prescott's career. Make no mistake about that. Because if Dak Prescott wins that game against the Rams, he's into uncharted territory that the Dallas Cowboys haven't been in the last 24 years or something like that. The divisional round. So, you know, yeah, both teams are going to come out with a lot of urgency. You're going to see a lot of Zeke in the beginning of this game, if I'm guessing correctly. If you stop Ezekiel Elliott in this game, or if you can hold Ezekiel Elliott to under 100 yards, you got an absolute chance of winning this game. I'm not really that scared of Dak Prescott going against the cornerbacks. The cornerbacks know they got to do their job. We're not going to get no Deion Sanders. We're not going to get no Richard Sherman in his prime overnight. Dudes got to step up. They got enough tape on these guys. They played against these guys enough. The Dallas Cowboys don't change anything on defense. So the Philadelphia Eagles got to attack that. The Dallas Cowboys play that simple base defense at all times. That's just what they do. That's what they do. The Philadelphia Eagles know this about the Dallas Cowboys, that they're going to play that man on one side and zone on the other side. So basically, if you get enough time in the pocket to have a guy run all the way over to the zones, to the man side of the field and beat his man in the process, then you got a wide open pass. But will we give Carson Wentz enough time to do that? The Dallas Cowboys pass rush against our pass rush last year wasn't that hot. Now, if I'm Doug Peterson, the first adjustment I'm looking to make in this game is to get Andre Dillard time. Andre Dillard needs time on third down passing situations because we can't afford Jason Peters to kill the drives with these false starts. You got to take everything into consideration. Everything that's been constantly happening during the season has to be taken into consideration last week. When we knew it came down between us and Dallas, our weaknesses have to be taken into consideration. Jason Peters could be a liability at times. One-on-one coverage against an Amari Cooper or something like that can be a liability at times. Now, call me crazy. I think the person that got the most dog in him at the cornerback position right now is Rasul Douglas. I think that Rasul Douglas can do a good job against Amari Cooper if he has help over the top. Remember how we contained Julio Jones? We contained him up into the fourth quarter until he beat us with a bubble screen. You have to keep somebody over the top. That way, if you keep somebody over the top, Rasul Douglas could be aggressive and jam at the line. That's what they need to implement. On passing situations, they need to implement a jam at the line while keeping somebody over the top. Because if you could beat the jam, you're still off time. Your timing is off now. And you still got to, Dak Prescott will have to throw in between the jammer and the safety. He has to fit that in that pocket, which ain't that easy to do, especially for somebody with an injured shoulder to his throwing arm. Listen, man, it can be done, and I believe it will be done. It's not going to be no surprise to me when the Philadelphia Eagles win this game tonight. If the Philadelphia Eagles lose this game tonight, then it will be because Jim Schwartz didn't make any adjustments. I guarantee you that. Jim Schwartz is not going to have a fabulous game and the Philadelphia Eagles lose. That's not how this thing going to work. Jim Schwartz going to have a bad... If we lose Jim Schwartz got to go. You know what I mean? I hate to call for coaches' heads. I've been on Jim Schwartz's team all last season. This season showed me the real Jim Schwartz. The real Jim Schwartz stood up. Make the adjustments. Do what has to be done to come out on top with this win. This is the win you need. This is the win you need. And the Philadelphia Inquirer, they're saying stuff like, this is the biggest, this win will define Doug Peterson's tenure in Philadelphia. Doug Peterson that won Super Bowl 52 and the highest scoring Super Bowl of all time and the Super Bowl that accumulated the most yardage of all time. A regular season game is going to define Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson needs to win this game. The city wants this game. The players got to go out there and do their job. I agree with all of that. But this win does not define Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson has exceeded expectations as far as the Philadelphia coach has been concerned in the history of coaches. The only coaches that are comparable to Doug Peterson are guys that won world championships before the Super Bowl era. The coach that coached Tommy McDonald and those guys. Those are the guys that are comparable to Doug Peterson. Anything between Tommy McDonald, what was that, the 41? Anything between 41 and 2017, Doug Peterson has bridged the gap. So, these papers with these wild theories, these analysts with these wild theories, I'm going to tell you one thing, and one thing that's for certain. When the Philadelphia Eagles win this game, I'm telling you, man, if Carson Wentz go out there and beat this team with practice squad receivers and a couple of tight ends that's good, if Carson Wentz go out there and do that, I will be unbearable for the rest of the week. The Dallas Cowboys fans and the Dallas Cowboys content creators, they're going to understand what I say when I mean that they've been irrelevant all this time. That they're underachievers. The defensive line. You either got to be good at one thing. You can't be bad at everything this game. You got to be good at stopping the run, or you got to be good at getting pressure on Dak Prescott in passing situations. You can't be too over-aggressive because I guarantee you they're going to try to use that against us. A bootleg or something like that. The defensive line has to pick their poison. What are you going to stop? What are you going to stop? You know what I mean? What are you going to stop? Now, the win against the Rams that the Dallas Cowboys had, in my opinion, that's what you call a flash knockout. They were able to knock them out of contention early, the same way they did to us when they beat us 37-10. We kept fumbling the ball, and we kept giving them short field position. The Rams were down 21-7, and guess what the Rams head coach decided to do? Throw a passing play. I think it was like a third down. Try to steal some points before the half, and Goff ends up throwing a pick, giving the Cowboys great field position, and they go into the half 28-7. It's over. It's kapoots after that. You got to play smart football. I'm telling you right now. Expect Doug Peterson, 4th and 1s, 3 and 1s. Expect Doug Peterson to go after that because that's what it's going to take to win this game. That's what it's going to take to win this game. Expect Carson Wentz to be more mobile. That's what it's going to take to win this game. You see how Mitchell Trubisky did them? Josh Allen. It's going to take heart. Mitchell Trubisky and Josh Allen played with heart. The same heart that Carson Wentz got. And all the disrespect to Carson Wentz, I want to talk about that right now. I saw Deshaun Watson play on Saturday. Trash. Looked bad. After this game, Carson Wentz will have more touchdowns than Deshaun Watson. Carson Wentz did his job to the best of his ability with what he was given. At the end of the day, the job ain't over, though, Carson. It ain't over. It ain't over. We acknowledge Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles for making sure we're at least 7-7 and having something to fight for. We acknowledge that job because 7-7 don't get it done in a lot of divisions. Actually, don't get it done in no division except ours. We got to go out there and we got to do our thing, man. This is a big game, man. This is a big game, yo. This is a big game. And the defensive line got to step up. The defense in totality got to step up. We're short in the cornerback area. Camus was on IR. The defense has to step up. Something got to give. We need a total game today. We need the offense and the defense to be in rhythm today. This is Carson Wentz's, third straight week now, knowing the receivers that he's going to go into battle with. That's a good thing. When can you tell me 3 weeks where Carson Wentz knew who he was going to throw the ball to? That's probably like the first time this entire season where Carson Wentz knew who he was going to throw the ball to. The week prior. These young guys are doing a good job of not getting hurt. Boston Scott, Greg Ward in the gang. They're doing it. Miles Sanders has been durable all year. These guys are doing a great job of not getting hurt. These guys are doing a great job of being available. These guys are doing a great job of showing that they deserve a roster spot next year. They are. These big name guys, I don't know, man. These big name guys tend to get hurt a lot. You know what I mean? And Deshaun Jackson is looking better and better and better, they say. But you can't count on Deshaun Jackson. The only way I think we'll see Deshaun Jackson is like in the second round of the playoffs if we get there by some type of miracle, if we get to the divisional round. But at the end of the day, it's all laid out there in front of us, man. And it's either going to be a good video or it's going to be a bad video. You got to be prepared for the good and the bad when you do this thing that we call YouTube here, man. But, the win, I think that the win is ours. I think that the win is ours. If the win isn't ours, we'll have to talk about that too. But I feel like the win is ours. This is why I don't give up. This is why I don't quit. People was telling me the season was over 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. It's over. Carson looked bad. Now everybody Carson was friend and the season ain't over. I sat in the stands at the Redskins game. People texting me during the game the season over. Okay. You really? Really? I don't care how bad it looked, but Carson Wentz ain't about to lose no damn Dwayne Haskins. I don't care how bad it looked, but the Eagles ain't about to lose no goddamn Eli Manning. It's been a 2-team race all season. Everybody want to tell us the Dallas Cowboys roster is better. How? They 7-7. What's better about the Cowboys than the Eagles? What is better? The records are identical. So you already fall. You know. Come on, you already don't have it together when you tell me that team is better than us. No, we're in the same place, whether they want to believe it or not. We're at 7-7 together. But they've had a healthier roster. I will say that. They've completely underachieved. If the Philadelphia Eagles had Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson, it's an if, we would not be 7-7. I can tell you why we 7-7. Can you tell me why the Dallas Cowboys are 7-7? You can't do it. You can't do it, man. You just can't do it. And these guys, man, they've been hyped up. They've been overrated all year. This is the final time to put the stake in them, bruh. This is the time to get the coach fired. This is the time to put the stake in them. The link is not going to be very nice to these guys today. This will be the time to put the Dallas Cowboys down. And I'm with it.